Welcome, greetings. My name is Emerald with Emerald Elegant Ceremonies. I'm your dedicated wedding officiant. Sometimes couples will think of, instead of hiring a wedding officiant, actually using one of their family or friends to officiate the ceremony. Now, here are a few things I need you guys to keep in mind of the differences between using a family member versus hiring a professional wedding officiant. One thing to keep in mind is that when you hire a wedding officiant, I am going to have seamless coordination with all of your wedding vendors. I'm going to reach out to your photographer there to see the perfect placement. We're going to take some shots to see how lighting goes, all the test shots and things like that. I'm going to work with your videographer. With your videographer, we're going to get mic'd up. We're going to test the sound and test everything else that they're going to use for your video. I'm going to coordinate with your DJ. I'll introduce myself, go up to the DJ. We're going to discuss what the order of everything is so they know when to start the music, when to stop the music, and then the exit wording so they know when to cue it back up when everyone is walking back down the aisle. So we seamlessly coordinate everything there. We also test out the microphones to do a sound check to see how everything works with audio so that when we're speaking through the mic to a large group, everyone can hear perfectly. Your wedding officiant will also provide clear and confident delivery of your ceremony. Now, a nervous family member who is doing this for the first time or new, they might fumble the words. They might get a little bit nervous. And that's not something that you want to have on your forever videos. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. When you are having a wedding, right? You're inviting a lot of people, especially if you have a larger wedding, 100 people, 150, 300 or more. You have a ton of people that are coming. People are coming in from out of town, out of state. They are coming in to support you with love and joy, right? So you want to hire someone who is professional and confident. Now, I'm not saying your family member can't be that, but are they great at public speaking? Will they be able to know how to address an issue or go with the flow if something happens? Do they know what to do in a case of an emergency during a ceremony? These are the things that wedding officiants are trained for. We are skilled in, and we have encountered, so we know exactly what to do in that situation to make sure that everything goes smoothly without a hitch. If you are having a family or friend officiate your ceremony, are they reliable? An issue that I have run into when talking to some of my couples is that they said, oh, I had a friend who was going to do it, but they backed out. I had a cousin who is an officiant, but they kind of got scared and backed out once they found out there were so many guests. When you hire an officiant, we're not going to back out. I'm going to be there. If you say you need me for a 5 o'clock ceremony, I'm going to be there late 3 something, early 4 something to coordinate with everyone and to reassure you I am here and I am ready and I'm here if you need anything. You're not going to have to worry about having someone there who's going to be reliable because we're reliable. When you hire a licensed wedding officiant, you got to keep in mind that we are responsible for all of the legal documents. If you have a family or friend who is not familiar with how to fill out the paperwork, where the paperwork goes, what signatures are needed, then you're kind of in a bind because it needs to be completed and submitted to a certain location by a certain amount of time. And without that, you're just kind of attending and hosting a very expensive party instead of an actual wedding. There are also very important legal components that must be verbally articulated during a wedding ceremony. In certain states, the marriage is not legal. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. So we as wedding officiants, we're required to know the different state laws for each county, each state, anywhere we go. And you can kind of be at ease when you know, okay, my wedding officiant has that. You want to allow your family to enjoy the day. So let's just say you have a cousin or an uncle or an aunt or a friend who's a wedding officiant and they just might have gotten ordained online or through their church. They're not able to really enjoy the wedding because they are preparing for the ceremony. They are practicing the script. They are going through everything from the back end without being able to be fully focused and present during your big day. So it kind of takes them out of that component. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you hire a wedding officiant, you can kind of avoid any kind of potential family conflicts. You never know how family is going to react. They usually say during weddings and funerals, people really show their true colors. And I have heard so many insane stories during that. You can very easily avoid conflict of them asking, well, why did you choose them? Or them knowing their background and having a little bit extra to say that's not really necessary for the ceremony. You can eliminate that. So with that in mind, it maintains the formality. I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Are you for using a family or friend? Or do you think it makes just more sense to hire a wedding officiant? Thanks for watching. Take care.